Hey there, I'm Brandon, and this is the Dirt Church Devotional. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been judged by somebody? I mean, from outside circumstances, they look at your life and they judge you, and they're wrong. It doesn't feel too good, does it? There's somebody in the Bible that I think many of us we maybe have judged her wrong. Okay, there's this guy, in fact, there's a whole book written about him, and his name is Job. And he was a really good guy. He honored God. He did the right thing. And God allowed Satan to mess him up, to take away his health, to take away his wealth and all this stuff. And while he was in the midst of all this suffering, I mean, he lost all of his kids, all of his animals, all of his money, he lost everything in a matter of moments. And then he lost his health, and he is sitting in a dumpster area, basically, and he's scraping his sores with broken pottery. Good morning. And anyway, his wife comes to him. And a lot of people, if you've read the Bible, this has caught your attention. His wife comes to him and says, hey, why don't you just curse God and die? Just curse him and die. And I know myself, for years, I've read that and I thought, wow, that's a great wife. I mean, on top of everything else that this guy has to deal with, he's got this winner of a wife here that's just saying, hey, why don't you just kill yourself? But I thought about it a while back, and I was looking at it through different eyes. And I don't really want to be judging her because I don't know her, obviously, But God began to reveal to me, sometimes we judge from outside circumstance. But God sees the heart. And I started to look at Job's wife from a different perspective. And I thought, what about this? What if she really is a loving and compassionate and caring woman? What if she really does have Job's best interest at heart? But being human, she doesn't necessarily know how to express that. What if her heart was this? Job, you're hurting, you're suffering, you've lost everything, and I hate to see you in this condition. I hate to see you in this physical pain that you're suffering and struggling through. Why don't you just end it? Not because I'm tired of you, but because I'm tired of the suffering. Not because I hate you, but I hate what's going on in your life, and I want to see you have peace. What if she was actually speaking from a position of compassion? We don't think about that too much. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning physician-assisted suicide. I'm not condoning what could have been the end. All right, Job's response was, look, we can't take good from God and not bad. We got to accept what he gives us. But here's the point, and I mentioned it a moment ago. Man, you and me, we judge from outside. We look on the outside and make our judgments. But God looks on the heart. And I don't know about you, but I'm glad for that. Okay, I don't like being judged by people. I would rather be judged by God. And I know my heart, but I don't know it as good as God does. I know my actions, and they aren't always great. All right, now let me say this about Job's wife. When Job's suffering ended, when God put an end to it and he restored his health and he restored his wealth and he restored his family, guess who was alongside of him? That's right, his wife. God, who sees the heart, maintained her. Oh, I'm sure he dealt with her in his own gentle yet firm way, but God, who sees the heart, maintained her and brought her through with Job. So a couple of things about that. Number one, if you've been judged by other people, if you've been put down and your motives have been questioned and your actions have been questioned by other people, and it's frustrating you and it's bringing you to the breaking point, hang on. Don't worry. You're not going to be judged by them eternally. And God's not going to ask their opinion about you. God will judge you by your heart, by what you did with what he gave you. God is a righteous judge and a gracious judge and a merciful judge, and we can throw ourselves upon him. The second thing, though, if you've been in that judge's seat, if you've been the one that's been looking and judging by outward appearances, stop. Stop. Stop judging by those outward appearances. Stop judging by somebody's knee-jerk reaction that you don't understand. How about if instead of praying about that person, you pray for that person? There's a big difference in that. Why don't you chew on that for a bit? I'll see you next time.